Good evening and welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am DM Bluddworth, and as you can see by the graphics, today's video is an Unscripted and Unchained box opening and first look at Tiny Epic Dungeons by Scott Almes, produced by Gamelyn Games. So this is a Kickstarter I backed, quite a bit ago. Certainly less than a year, but but a few months ago, and I backed it at $48. That was for the deluxe edition, so it came with the full box and an expansion pack. So the reason why I got this was that during the time, obviously, several months ago, almost a year ago, we were in the height of, strictly online play. And so I needed something just to pass the time every once in a while. And I was looking for various either deck builder type games where you would create a dungeon using just a deck of cards, and you flip them out and be able to run an RPG solo, or even just with a small group of individuals to play it out with. And this game came out, and or at least the Kickstarter was announced, and I took a look at it, and it goes a little bit beyond that deck builder. It goes more into just a little bit more bells and whistles. As you can see, it has miniatures, and I'll show those off as I open up the box. And it has tokens and other things, plus dice, obviously. And really excited to take a look at it. Now, I have opened the boxes already, but I really haven't gone through and started unpacking everything and showing everything off. I'm also going to show the Kickstarter video so that you can see this is why I picked this up, and really caught my interest. So without further ado, let's go over and we'll go right to the Kickstarter page. So here you have it, Tiny Epic Dungeons. So marked as received on February 14th, and I believe it began somewhat earlier than that. This is the video I'm going to show. So I paid $40 plus so the gameplay all in, and plus shipping and handling came out to $48. So really can't go wrong there. Let me do this here.
Terror has once again gripped the land of Ogmore. Demons, monsters, and goblins have been surfacing from the darkest places of the world. In order to bring peace once again, Ogmore needs heroes. Light emanates from the tunnel entrance in front of you. The time is now to enter the dungeon.
Tiny Epic Dungeons is a cooperative and quick-playing roguelike dungeon crawler for 1 to 4 players. It is the first in the Tiny Epic series to feature highly detailed character miniatures. In Tiny Epic Dungeons, players control a band of heroes who explore a unique dungeon in search of the fearsome dungeon boss. Goblins and ferocious minions seek to block the hero's path at every turn, and where there isn't an enemy, traps are set, ready to spring on even the most prepared hero. Tiny Epic Dungeons features a modular dungeon that is unique with each play. The game is played over 2 acts. In both acts, the players are constantly struggling against the waning firelight of their torch, which decreases each turn. When the torch goes out, the heroes are forever lost in the darkness. In the first act, players explore the dungeon, encountering goblins, minions, and traps in an effort to find the boss's lair. In the second act, the heroes engage in an epic battle against the boss. Each boss has unique abilities and a lair with a unique environment that gives various advantages and disadvantages depending on the skills used and where the hero attacks from. However, these epic monsters cannot be slain by mere swords, axes, arrows, or the occasional spell. Ritual rooms around the dungeon must be used to lower their magical bond to the dungeon, The dungeon boss must be lured to these rooms to lower their defenses and allow the heroes to strike the final blow. The heroes will need to collect legendary loot and supreme spells. Heroes of old crafted loot to honor the ways of their clans: Bear, Lion, Phoenix, and Panther. Heroes can discover pieces from these ancient sets that grow more powerful the more you collect. Will you be the greatest warrior the Bear clan has ever seen? Or will you make the Panther clan proud by stalking your prey and striking with surprising force unseen before the moment of impact? The exciting and fast gameplay of Tiny Epic Dungeons will have players coming back again and again to explore new dungeons and the variety of experiences the game offers. Don't forget to check out the Stories expansion, which brings new heroes, minis, and a narrative element to the world of dungeons. Fight your way through multiple dungeon levels to achieve new goals. Discover exciting new loot while facing off against a slew of new goblins, minions, and bosses. Stories presents an incredible amount of content that you will not want to miss. There is no better time than now to pledge your support and get a copy of Tiny Epic Dungeons. Every dollar pledged on Kickstarter makes the game better for everyone. Don't wait. Join us and become a backer today.
So as you can see, I mean that's what really dragged me into it, was the the fact that number one, it's only $40. Number two, it was it did allow for single player, so from 1 to 4 players. And as you can see, Kickstarter wise, campaign, I mean it pledged over $2.1 million. So 41,000 backers, $2.1 million. So that an extremely successful Kickstarter. So without further ado, let's actually start taking a look at it. So I will mess around with this and try to get the as clear as possible. But here is the box set, and as we open it up, I'm getting a lot of glare. I don't know why. Normally I don't get this much glare, but here we have the rules booklet, and this is the adventures manual. And something they have on here is that you can scan this for an instructional video, which we kind of just watched, but there's probably more of an instructional additional rules clarifications, and to learn more about the characters in Tiny Epic Dungeons. And I started looking through, and just trying to get a sense of what's involved with the game. And you can see there are a lot of parts in here. There's a full table of contents, and it talks about the hero's attributes, what you do for your movement, perform 1 heroic action per turn, types of heroic actions such as rest or search the room, disarm the trap, cast a spell, attack or ranged attack, enemy counterattacks, damage and killing enemies, unconscious heroes, performing free actions, and then it breaks it down. There is a section on solo play. As I mentioned, you take control of at least 2 characters when you're playing solo, but you could play up to as many as 4, and you just have to keep track of their boards as you're going through it. So I will certainly watch the video, especially if they're doing gameplay type videos, to really get a sense for it before I jump into it. And I will eventually get around to doing a video on just the gameplay. I will demonstrate gameplay. I like the fact that the last page here kind of folds out, so you can make a copy of this, and then you can have this laying next to you, on your table, so that you really quick reference guide to know what you're doing there. So now these are this here is the boards. There's these two little. They feel like wood actually, but we will take a look. These are the mats, probably the hero mats. Oh, excuse me. I should have done a little bit more prep work in opening these things up. It's not that easy. There we go. So the Epic Mug of Ale, if you can see that. So that is a potion of some kind, and this must be the pack of magic items. Like I said, these 2 wooden tokens. One looks like a dragon, and the other looks like a dragon. They're actually 2 dragons, 2 different dragons, one yellow, one blue, so that might actually mean something. We'll continue. Potions and Perils. That's a mini expansion. Oh, maybe that's what that is. So this is a mini expansion. Then we have the Demon Lord. So obviously it's probably a boss. And this here is the Lich. So that might be for an expansion. So this might be an expansion pack that came along with it. So we will put this back in there. And then, of course, I have the entire other packet there. So here are the figures. And they're actually pretty good. They are actually very detailed. Let's see if I can get a good shot of this. Here, obviously, a barbarian. Let's see if I can get this thing to focus in on it. I suppose not. Come on. Yeah, the camera's not working really well today. There we go. I don't know why it cycles. It keeps on cycling. The camera's is a little bit off today. But you can see it's got a pretty good amount of detail. It's going to keep on like readjusting every time I move it a little bit. So yeah, unfortunately, that's not as clear as I would have hoped. But so here we have the full deck of Stabby Goblin, and these are all the deck for the main game. Then we have tokens, various tokens. They're obviously trap tokens and condition tokens, and there's some spiders and other things, some spider webs, various icons and cogs. This probably represents locking a door or a locked door. Here are the dice. They're D6s, but with various symbols on some of these. That, like I said, this is a true opening. And this here is the dragon. So we have the main boss. Let's see. That comes with the game. The box is pretty sturdy box. And let's see. Of course, everything came out but the dragon. So, oh, this is the timer. All right, so this is the timer for the torch that they had shown. And then we have our resources, a resource card, resources and modifiers. Like I said, unfortunately, it doesn't come out very clear. So here's the dragon. They're glossy, so here's a Hydra. Once again, another boss. Here's the Goblin King, the Pharaoh, apparently like a mummy or something, the Gorgon, so Medusa, the Seer, looks like a beholder, although I can't say that. So this is a player character. This is a Grakul, a half-orc barbarian. Atherna, an elf sorceress. A dwarf cleric is Ulisa. Wen Kalis is an elf ranger. Moonblade is a wood elf rogue. Sir Lanon is a human paladin. Jarond is a blue ancient wizard. Jarond the Blue is an ancient wizard. Thoradin Firebrand is a dwarf fighter. And another torch timekeeping device. So it looks really cool. Everything is actually a decent quality. The card stock that it's on is actually pretty sturdy and very glossy, so you can see that's why there's so much glare. Like I said, plus this is the evening, so I'm doing a video in the evening, and just maybe the lighting is a little bit different in the room, and so you're getting that extra glare as well. But wow, it's really interesting. Looking forward to giving it some a really good try and repackage everything as best I can here. You know how things, they never go back in the package as easily as they came out. So I am testing that theory out as we go. Yeah, so that expansion pack just came with 2 extra bosses, and you use everything else from in-game. And this is the Potions and Perils expansion pack, or mini expansion. I'm sure that down the road, considering they raised $2 million, they will most likely produce much more for it. And as always, the boxes never go back the same way. Now this is the expansion kit, and basically it's going to be just like that mini expansion, just that this one is going to come with some more of these icons and now some more figures as well. So I'll be curious to run through these, and then I will come back and talk a little bit about how it went, as well as I'll shift gears. So it looks really cool. I mean, certainly something that'll be a lot of fun to to give it a try, and then to come back and talk about it on the channel, and hit $40 plus shipping and handling, $48. Really can't go wrong. You're getting a full game system. So even if you play it for half a dozen times, this might be actually something that I bring as just like a side game to a convention. And I actually most likely will bring this to VentureCon, which I'm planning on attending in July. And I already have some of my members of my regular AD&D First Edition group that will be attending. So I think there's at least 3 of us going, and so this will be something that we can play in between other game sessions, or maybe I'll just run it at my table and attract more people to come over and take a look at it. And maybe by then I'll have either Scott Almes or someone else associated with Gamelyn Games come on the show and talk a little bit about this, and talk about some of their expansions. So I'm going to reach out to them and say, hey, I got this. I'm really excited to talk to you about what went into doing this, and see what we can do. So that's somebody I certainly reach out to and see if we can get him on the show to talk about it. So once again, thanks for joining. Hope you like this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I will find a link to put in the description so that you can actually, take a look at the Kickstarter, even though it's already over. But you can certainly reach out and see if they have a website and check things out. See when they're planning on doing a regular release of the game, and jump in on it. So once again, thanks for joining. I hope you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those in the questions and comments section. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Should be hitting 2,000 within the next couple of months. I'm really excited about that. I'm going to do something special once the channel does hit 2,000. I'm around 1919 or 1920 as I speak right now. So it's not that far off, probably 2 months and I'll be there. And still planning on a lot of having guests come on the show and talk about various games and what they're working on, their projects. Like I said, this is one that's very impromptu. I wasn't expecting to get this game and write within the last couple of days. And now that I do have it, I'm going to reach out and try to bring Scott on to the channel to talk a little bit about the game and what it went into. All right, so thanks a lot for joining. Have a have a great rest of your evening. It's Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day, to everyone out there. Hope you're enjoying your day and your evening with your family. I'm just waiting for the rest of my family to get home so that we can begin celebrating it as well. So have a great afternoon.